The Land Before Time 13. Never was a direct-to-video sequel more anticipated by both its fans and its haters. And yet no Land Before Time sequel prior to this one was so different, so jarring, that even its most loyal fan base found themselves despising it. The critiques on IMDb say more than enough. As a devoted fan of the franchise, I found this latest entry to be a lightweight. Having enjoyed most of the sequels, I was greatly disappointed in this sequel and consider it the worst of the franchise, overall disappointing and almost unwatchable for me. The fan-edited Land Before Time Wikia page states that this film is widely regarded by fans as the worst film in the series. A parent on Amazon.com comments, "This is one of the worst movies I have ever seen and sorely regret buying it for my daughter." Oh my god! I mean, several of the movies were bad, really, really bad, but when even fans and parents start complaining about just how bad this movie is, well, how can you argue with that? Alright, let's get this out of the way. Land Before Time 13, The Wisdom of Friends. This movie starts with Littlefoot nearly killing his grandma. Great opening! He tries to eat a leaf off a log that he shouldn't, and in the process of Grandma trying to save him from falling down the cliff, she ends up falling in herself. Oh yeah, I bet you can climb back up that sheer rock wall, I'm sure.
Shh, it's all right.
Oh my god! Oh, he's just dreaming about screwing up now. Yeah, being an irresponsible kid will do that. But Grandma's fine, and she starts teaching Littlefoot the wisdoms. Yeah, not just wisdoms, but the wisdoms.
Those are the ways of doing things which help us stay safe when the unexpected happens. Stay in a group. I stayed near you, so I was able to help when you got into trouble.
Littlefoot getting told about wisdoms makes him the most annoying he's ever been over the course of the series. Did you ever have that friend growing up who's a real buzzkill about things because he was always saying, "My mom always says we shouldn't do this, that, and the other thing"? Well, that's Littlefoot here. And it's nice that he's trying to keep his friends safe and all, but even when they're doing relatively harmless stuff, he's all up in their face about following the wisdoms. His friends even essentially tell him in song how annoying it is.
If me wanna go play on a dripply day, and me mother say me can't go, when me ask her why, she look me in the eye and say, because me say so.
His knowledge of the wisdoms also somewhat gives him a better than the rest of his friends sort of attitude throughout the remainder of the movie, as you'll soon see. But first, let me introduce you to the characters that really ruin the entirety of the movie. Introducing Lufa, Doofa, and Fubi. There's a certain politically incorrect term I would love to use for them, and not even in a particularly cruel sort of way, but because I literally believe that they fall into a particular category, so I'll just say, their brains not do so good.
How long's it been since you ate?
Must have been, let's see, right before you guys showed up.
And yeah, Lufa is Cuba Gooding Jr. Why? Didn't he have something else to be doing in 2007? Nope, nothing else of value here. These dinosaurs are supposed to be a race called oh, whatever, this thing! And I mean, honestly, where is even the resemblance? Universal, why don't you just admit that you made up a fantasy dinosaur race instead of trying to look for a dinosaur that has next to no similarities to what you drew and claiming that's what it is? Now, I have to make a confession. As dumbed down as the series became over the course of the last 11 movies, what with the simplified animation styles, CGI, addition of songs, softened storylines, and so on, all of those other movies are mature in comparison to this one since the introduction of these yellow bellies, as they call them in this movie. There's so much stupid happening that I don't think I can fit it all into this discussion.
The place where we're headed for has berries too. And it's a valley just like this one. I wish I could remember what it's called.
Is it Doofa? Oh, no, that's my name.
Uh-oh, hang on. I got you.
Now, I'm going to spoil something for all of you. There's a wise one among the yellow bellies, and the whole movie, you think they're gonna go find this wise one. But no, the whole time, the wise one is Phoebe. Yeah, the dumb, mute one is the wise one of all the yellow bellies. Right, and that secretly makes Spike the wisest of the 5 friends. Anyway, they're looking for some place called Berry Valley, and they take off on their own to find it. Good riddance, right? No, Littlefoot, as always, has to go play main character and insists on teaching them the wisdoms so they can make it to their meeting spot in the mysterious beyond safely. As you can see, now that his grandparents have taught him these wisdoms, Littlefoot has instantly become the most know-it-all character in the movie. None of the rest of his friends care what happens to these strangers. In fact, they're smart enough to tell Littlefoot that he's breaking wisdoms too by leaving the Great Valley and going places that might keep him from getting back before dark. But no, ignoring some wisdoms are more important to Littlefoot so that he can share wisdoms. But it doesn't matter. The yellow bellies are too stupid to recognize when a wisdom is told to them or to even remember it for more than 30 seconds.
I'm gonna tell them to you, and then you just repeat after me. Stay in a group.
So what's the point of this movie anyway? Wisdoms are getting ignored, and the characters they're trying to teach them to aren't receptive of them. This is so pointless. Anyway, wouldn't you guess it, they all get stuck outside the Great Valley, so now it's up to the kids to lead these 3 to their meeting spot where they're supposed to find a whole herd of yellow bellies and together walk to Berry Valley, so Littlefoot suggests they take them at least up to their herd. Also, wouldn't you know it, they're sharp-tooth enemies. And again, wouldn't you know it, they're beaten by pushing rocks on their heads. Excitement's over for now. They eventually lead them all the way to their meeting spot, where the whole herd of yellow bellies is hiding with their heads in the ground. Let me just ask, does this thing look like it would bury its head in the sand to hide from its enemies? I mean, I'm just curious. Anyway, show's over. Littlefoot and the gang successfully brought the idiots to their herd, and now they're no longer their problem and can just go straight home, right? Well, no, we're only halfway done with the movie. What more can we possibly do?
I just don't think they stand a chance. I'm going with him.
Oh no, Littlefoot, don't go thinking you're so much smarter than an entire herd. Obviously, these dinosaurs survived just fine before you came along, so what makes you think that they need you now? Song and dance, go!
Come on and dance. Come on and shout the rage. Come on and be a yellow belly. Come on, 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 come on. Come on and dance. Come on and dance.
Littlefoot tells them to all stay in a group, which is difficult because the whole time it's similar to herding cattle. But no worries, Littlefoot's got it all under control.
You have any idea where you're going? Sort of. See, I've never heard of Berry Valley before, so it's gotta be someplace I've never been, right?
Good Lord, it's the blind leading the blind! Along the way, they find a single group of berry bushes. The yellow bellies mistake this for Berry Valley. This almost exactly replicates a scene straight out of movie number 1, where the group finds a small pod of trees growing tree stars, and they mistake that for the Great Valley. But in both of these instances, the food is eaten in a flash before their eyes and is proven not to be the valley they were looking for. Way to be original, movie. Good job. And it's finally around this time that Littlefoot realizes he can't rely entirely on wisdoms.
Sometimes you think you know what's right, then somebody comes along and they show you what you thought was right might be a little bit wrong.
Then what was was even the point of making learning how to be safe such a big deal in the first place? So they keep marching on, and it starts to rain. Littlefoot seeks shelter, but in the process, Doofa takes off somewhere on her own. Well, it was bound to happen eventually. They find her on a ledge, all on her own, and she seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that she's in terrible peril. But she survives, unfortunately. Oh, did I mention those sharp tooths from earlier aren't actually dead? 'Cause they aren't. They try to shove some wisdoms in here.
Like my dad always says, bump them with your horn. And keep eyes and ears open.
But in personal opinion, it kind of fails because they're already in a hazardous situation. All the wisdoms they were given were to keep them out of danger to begin with. As nice as it is to try and throw in some morals in the end there during a supposedly perilous moment, there's some times when it just feels crowbarred in. Like now. And then the Yellow Belly saved the day with stupid. Alright, carry on. Oh, so this is where it's revealed that Phoebe was the wise one. I mean, get it? He spat on Lufa's cheek, which reminded him that Berry Valley was even called Berry Valley. He pointed to a funny-shaped rock that indicated that's where their meeting spot was supposed to be, and he sniffed out berries when they were right next to Berry Valley. I mean, call me crazy, but calling him wise still seems like a bit of a stretch to me. Well, now that the Yellow Bellies are at Berry Valley, the 5 kids can go back in the direction of home, where they meet up with their family members who were, surprisingly, actually out looking for them, and together they walk home. That's it. I think I have a pretty good understanding why even fans aren't so much fans of this one. The tone is so surprisingly different, I can't even believe it. Littlefoot ends up getting the kids into more trouble than they need to be in, even when all the rest of the kids don't want to participate. None of this was their problem, and the Yellow Bellies never even asked for help to begin with. And for a movie being all about wisdoms, it seems like wisdoms were mostly ignored. The entire movie series past the first movie was so ridiculously dumbed down that it's insulting to fans of the first movie, which had scenes that could make even a mature adult start to water at the eyes. There's nothing about any of the following movies that even comes close to the emotional work that Don Bluth, Steven Spielberg, and George Lucas put into the original creation, least of which is The Land Before Time 13. While the original Land Before Time movie is held in high regard by many fans, adults and children alike, as well as movie and animation buffs, I can only hope that the other 12 movies get completely left in history's dust. Well, now this hour and some change of stupidity is out the door, over and done. Alright, now that we have this beast of a movie out of the way, let's see what the next movie has in store for us, huh? Oh, wait. Wait a minute, this can't be right. According to my notes here, there are no further movies to evaluate. Oh, wow! It's true, there are no movies left! After movie number 13, it's over! It's all over! Do you know what this means? I'm free! I'm absolutely free! Wait a minute. Something's not right. Something's wrong! Something's amiss!
And it's strange for us, and things could rearrange for us in that big
No!
water.
It's over! I covered all of it! I did!
Big, 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 big water.
I have to solve this mystery! What could I have possibly forgotten?
On top, but down
There is a Land Before Time TV series, as well as a series of video games too. Damn you, NBC Universal! You haven't seen the last of me! I'll cover all of your Land Before Time titles if it's the last thing I ever do!